Today my topic is casting defect. So what is the casting defect? You can see this figure. When the molten metal is pure in this cavity or mold. So after solidification the metal in the form of the components. This process is called the casting. The casting in this casting process, the different type of the casting defects again maybe the arises. The casting defects are generally depends upon the 5 points. Number one is the designing of the casting and pattern. Number two is the designing of the mold and designing of the core. Number three is the composition of the metal. Number four is the melting and puring. Number fifth is rising and gating. These 5 points are affecting the casting defect. The following casting defects are given here. Number one is below holes. So below holes is arises on the surface of this casting surface and maybe the inside. So how to produce this type of the below holes? Due to the different type of the points, the below holes are increased in the casting. Number one is excess moisture. Excess moisture means the when you are prepare the green sand mold. So if you are used to 8 to 10% moisture are mixed in a green sand or clay. So above the 10% moisture to create this type of the below holes on this casting surface, cast in a casting. Number two is core not baked properly. So if you want to make this type of the hole, then you will be used to core. So the core not properly baked. So core may be the bake at above the 300 °C. Third number is mold rammed with a high pressure. This is a core, this is a drag, this is a cope. This is a cope and this is a drag, like this. This is a drag, this is a cope. When the sand is filled in this cavity to make this type of the mold is rammed, not a high pressure used. Not a high pressure used. Fifth number is improper mix sand. The sand is not properly mixed. The uh, green sand, water and clay and last and different type of the binder are not used proper mixing. So the below holes are created with the help of this. These points are affecting the below holes. Number two is gas holes. The gas holes due to the dissolve excess gas in the molten metal. When you are melting this metal in this crucible, the melting the metal in a different type of the melting equipments like indexing furnace, open hearth furnace, crucible furnace and here you can see this figure. This is a indexing plate, this is a refractory molten metal and crucible. The hydrogen gases and nitrogen are involved in the excess involved in the atmosphere. So due to the dissolving, the hydrogen, nitrogen or oxygen are dissolved in this during this molten the metal. So the excess of this gases, due to the excess of the gases dissolved in this molten metal, the gases whole defecting are produced in the casting. Third number is pinhole. Pinholes, the hydrogen and oxygen, nitrogen, due to absorption of the hydrogen, the hydrogen is create the this type of the pinholes problem. So this is a pinhole casting defect due to the absorb the hydrogen in a molten metal. Number four is porosity. Due to decreasing solubility of the gas like hydrogen, oxygen and nitrogen. Oxygen, hydrogen, nitrogen not yet properly mixed. Due to the decreased solubility of the gas, so this porosity are performed. This type of the defect are created in a casting. This type of the porosity is you cannot see the naked eye. You can see the microscope. This type of the porosity is uniformly distributed in a casting surface area. Number five is drop. So when you ram the metal, when the metal, you can see this figure. So when the metal is pure in this mold in cavity, some sand is dropped, some sand is dropped in this cavity. Due to this cavity dropping this sand, So due to the dropping the sand from the curve, so it is the avoid to use the strength of the sand. So how to avoid this type of the defect casting? So strength to different type of the binder are used to increase the strength of the sand. Sixth number is synchrase. Synchrase the height. The if the due to the high pressure, due to the high pressure, again due to the high pressure, the mold is down. The mold is impressed. So due to the high pressure, so the size is decreased in this form of this curve. Due to the improper gating and rising, this type of the this type of the defect is called the shrinkage defect. Seven number is mold shifting. So this is a pattern. The pattern is fixed in a cope, or this top portion is drag. This is not properly. This knot is properly match this is a misalignment of the mold box. This is a misalignment. Second number is improper alignment of the pattern in mold. So this is a due to the misalignment of the pattern or mold. So the mold shifting defect are created in a casting. Eighth number is course shifting. So if you want to make the hole in the center, अगर due to the high pressure or due to the high ramming, अगर so this type of the core is shifted. So this is called the core shifting defect. 9 number is core shut. When the metal is pure from this gate, the metal arises in a riser due to the fast solidification at any point. Due to the metal will be the solid suddenly at any point. This defect is called the cold shunting. Cold shut. 10 number is hot tearing. Hot tearing due to the high radial stresses. So when the force is applied here, when the pressure is increased, the height is increased due to the high pressure. So some stresses are developed in this cavity due to the high radial stresses and very high ramming of the mold sand. The collapsibility. Collapsibility means the mold of binding, the sand of binding is split out. So due to the collapsibility, the hot tearing, so this type of the joint is break at any point in this form. So this process is called a hot tearing defect. The 11 number is scar. The shallow and hollow found on the surface of the casting. So on the casting surface, the very thin layer are you can see the very thin layer. This process is called the scar defect. 10, 11, 12 number is red tail. The red tail, due to the high temperature of the molten metal. The molten metal, in a crucible, indexing furnace, the melting temperature or the molten temperature of this metal is 1750 degree Celsius. Above this temperature, the temperature will be the high of the molten metal. If you are high temperature molten metal is pure in this cavity, so this type of the defect is rise. This is the defective rise due to the this is a irregular shape form in a casting. This is a red tail defect. 13 number is scrap. Scrap means a thin layer is also projected on the surface. At in the inner side, the some portion is cracked. This type of the defect is called the scrap. 14 number is mishran. So mishran means when you are pouring this metal, the metal not properly melt. The metal not properly melt. Metal not is properly melt. The temperature will be decreased. 15 degrees Celsius, or if you want to melt, if you want to pour this cavity, so the metal not properly melt, start freezing. Before the reaching, the metal is not reach here. The metal is starting at this point is freezing. This type of the joint, this type of the defect is called the mishran defect. 15 number is run out. 15 number is run out. The run out means this is a molten metal. This is a molten metal. When you are pouring the metal, when pouring the metal. The metal is carrying out from this side due to the more clearance between two die. The molten metal leak out from the molding box or die due to the more clearance between two die. So this type of the object is this type of the defect are create due to the more clearance. So how to remove it? To create the to provide the packing between between two plate and tight in a proper clamping. This type of the defect is called the run out defect. So defect, when you are pouring this metal in this cavity, the different type of the equipments are used to pouring this cavity. This is a ladder. This is a ladder, hand ladder. The hand ladder means this is up to the capacity of the hand ladder 20 kg. Bull ladder is also used to carrying this metal 150 up to the 150 kg, and monorail or crane ladder is also used to 2 ton or 3 ton etc. So this type of ladder are used to pouring this metal in a cavity. So how to the distance from the surface and from this height of the ladder, so will be the 6 inch to 8 inch, 6 inch to 8 inch, so 150 mm to 250 mm. Okay, so that there will be no chance to try to enter the different type of the gases, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, nitrogen. Due to the hydrogen and oxygen to create the different type of the blowholes, pinholes and inclusion, and due to the nitrogen the surface of the casting will be the hard. To avoid it, the distance between to this pouring and surface, the 6 inch to 8 inch you should be the taken. You should be the taken. Different type of the defect. These are the defect are decrease the economic condition of the our company, to our company. To how to remove it, how to remove it, to increase the economic to increase the performance of our company. So 5 points are used to decrease this type of the casting defect. Number one is the designing of the casting and pattern should be the proper. Number one. Number two is designing of the molding and designing of the core should be the sufficiently. Number three is so what type of the metal are used. The raw metal are used. The composition of the metal should be the proper. Number four. Number four is the curing time and melting time should be the accurate. And last number is fifth. The rising and gating process should be the proper. Gating means what type of the gate are used, horizontally, vertically, and bottom type gate are used. These points are used. These points are used to decrease the casting defect. The casting defect, these are the casting defect. So I hope that you will like my lecture. Thank you very much.